10:01, good morning. What's going on from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Down studio? I am Robert Walsh. USA was eliminated from the World Cup contention last night with a 4-1 loss in Seattle to Belgium, who now advances to the quarterfinal stage. The U.S. becomes the third of three host nations, joining Canada and Mexico to bow out of the World Cup in the round of 16. Belgium will face Spain. Coming up today on Fox, the round of 16 concludes as Lionel Messi and Argentina take on Egypt at 11 a.m. in Atlanta, and Switzerland takes on Colombia at 3 p.m. in Vancouver. For all your foundation repair and your waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5. If I don't, no, yeah, you're potted down. You can't even talk.
Rude.
The Zone.
So that didn't go our way last night. That didn't work out. What happened to fireworks and bald eagles and rocket launchers and F-16s and Freebird? What happened? What happened? Do we suck again? Because I was told Belgium is old. I was told that the U.S., this is the best, the most talented team that we've fielded. Why did they just pee down their legs so badly in front of thousands, tens of thousands of screaming Americans there to support them? The U.S. men's national team pissed down its leg. 615-737-1045. The number is how you get involved. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch is where the show is live streamed today. I am sad. I am more upset about this than I thought I would be because I was genuinely enjoying the soccer coverage. Robert, you're back out on soccer? No more soccer for you? We're done? Football season? Training camp? Cardinals, Texans?
I can't believe that I bought into this. I'm going to try not to cuss. I have not been that upset about something Cheyenne said last night. The last time I heard you talk about sports like this was in December. What was going on in December? Yeah. The Ravens fell flat on their face.
Football season.
They also forgot to play how to play the sport that they're paid to play. I hate that Lucas got me into this. I hate that I care. I could have just sat idly on my hands on the sideline and watched as a bystander, but no, I had to get into it. I had to care. I had to love this team. I had to love the chances they had to do something great. And maybe that's not fair, but I quit. I give up. Soccer's lame again. I don't care. If I have anything to say about it, we won't talk about any more World Cup the rest of this thing.
I had 10 seconds to celebrate their goal before Belgium went right back down the pitch and scored that other goal. It's as gut-punching of a sequence, gut check of a sequence as I can remember. That was the only shred of life, 10 seconds in a 90-minute match, plus halftime, plus extra time, that you felt like, okay, we're back, baby. Bleep your waffles. We're coming for your stuff. We're going to the Final Eight. No. We've got a goalie from Harvard that pulled a Younghoe Koo in leading to one of the most disastrous goals I think I've ever seen in my entire life, Robert. I don't know that I've seen a professional athlete look that inept. Because Younghoe Koo's field goal, where he just drags his foot across the turf instead of hitting the ball as a member of the New York Giants, what was that, last season or 2 seasons ago? I want to say it was last season. That at least, I don't know, more excusable than what I saw Matt Freese do last night. And especially because the lead up. The lead up to this is, we got our guy back. You got no shot. We were going to beat you anyway. Belgium doing the Trump dance at the end of the game to mock the United States president who got involved with FIFA. And I don't know. People People wanted to blame Trump for the next Game 3 loss, the first game at Madison Square Garden in the NBA Finals. I think that's probably more bad luck or circumstance than it is directly attributing to Donald Trump. I think Trump's going to have to wear this one a little more than he did that Knicks loss because he directly got involved. And we said, okay, we're good with the corruption. If it benefits us, we're good, right? Kind of tongue-in-cheek, but not really. And then it wasn't. Got our asses kicked. The groan that came out of my body when they went up 4-1.
I don't know how y'all do it in Europe. I don't know how y'all do it in other countries. But around here, we win with grace. And we win without style points. And running it up, they could have took a knee. They could have took a knee. They could have ran the clock out. They didn't have to add another score to the board. Them running it up, I've added the Belgians to the list.
No, I think
no, I can't help it. They're added to the list. Dutch and Belgians.
I would be with you if we didn't make such a mess on the front end. Like, we have to wear that too. And I'm not going to do one of these sanctimonious think pieces today on, ha, told you so. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You get in bed with FIFA. You do the thing that FIFA has always it's always been kind of known that FIFA does untoward things, but it's never been that blatant. Where a world leader is at a podium in front of a microphone saying, yeah, I talked to Johnny, old Johnny Infantino. I know ball. I said it wasn't a foul. Let our boy play. He said, okay. We got to wear that one a little bit. And so,
honestly,
does it feel like we as a country have squandered the goodwill that the World Cup built up for us? Because it feels very quickly that the world turned on us after we made a mess of the Flo Balogun red card overturned situation. I feel like we've kind of squandered our goodwill here.
I feel like the only goodwill that has been squandered is the goodwill that one Lucas Panchica provided. Because if you'll remember yesterday, after his eulogy to the Brazilian team getting sent home by Norway, he decided by himself that it was the U.S.'s time. And I thought I heard something. I thought that when he was saying that, I could hear something in the background, something just like matriculating into my eardrum.
It was a monkey.
I could feel it.
You could hear the monkeys in Brazil in the background.
No. It wasn't the monkeys. It was Lucas cursing the United States. You had to listen carefully, and I did. And I listened to the tape, and I pulled it, and I put it to music. And I want you guys to listen to what Lucas did to our United States soccer team. He is not one of us. He's in Brazil right now, enjoying mangoes and poolside lounges. He doesn't care about us. He doesn't care about our qualms or quarrels. He's perfectly content staying in that hemisphere. So I pulled the tape, and I put it to music for dramatic effect. And this is what I found out from Lucas Panchica.
If Brazil's dream to add a 6-star to the jersey had to die so that the U.S.'s dream could fly on the wings of an eagle, then so be it. America. 2026 wasn't Brazil's time.
2026 is the U.S.'s time again to save the mother
Argent.
America.
It's the U.S. now that
Holds the weight of expectation.
It's the U.S. that
benefits from FIFA's mighty sword of corruption.
Belgians.
Your games now you have to answer to.
and it's the U.S.
That's gonna fall flat on its face. America.
He said it. He said that. It's America's time to fall flat on his face. You had to listen. You had to enhance, kind of like a Van Gogh painting. You had to squint.
Enhance.
Turn your eyes a little bit. This is all Lucas's fault. And I won't listen to any other answer.
Well, it's convenient because he's not here to defend himself. He's off playing poolside with mangoes and monkeys and Meg.
Triple M. Triple eminent.
Well done by you. Well, great big J Journo investigative work by you. It sucks, man. I wanted to keep talking about this, and I know there's no way I can get the remainder of the audience that we were already testing the limits with. I mean, because we were basically talking World Cup for the vast majority of the show the last couple of weeks. Why wouldn't we? There's no way that I can get the audience invested in Egypt, Argentina with me today, being played in Atlanta. I think that game's already started. I think it was like an 11 Eastern kickoff.
Don't care.
Yeah, I know.
Hope they lose.
No.
I hope they tie.
Take it back.
They both get sent home.
Take it back.
Mo Salah, no problems.
What?
The only Salah I care about is Robert. Can't get into it.
You don't care about that Salah.
I don't even care about field goals anymore. If it involves kicking a ball, out. I don't care. Go for 2 every time. We don't need them. We use our hands in this country. We use our minds in this country.
Apparently not.
Dude, I don't know.
Nobody was thinking real straight when they were talking all that smack to Belgium on the front end yesterday. Myself included.
Could you even look at, I don't even know what their names are. I feel like I'm watching a daggum anime show with my kid or something. I don't know what any of their names are. What's the dude with the blue hair? What's the guy last night that had the header in the first 2 goals they scored? He looked like a 14-year-old.
Oh, for Belgium?
He looked like a petulant child who just hit puberty.
Yes. Most of them have.
That might be the most smackable face in soccer, in sports, in the world that I've ever seen. If you've got a better smackable face other than the guy I'm talking to right now, I'd love for somebody to call us in and let us know, 615-737-1045, because I'm heavy as the heart today.
Well, and it's not like we can, I have a hard time doing the thing. And JP Morosi is going to join us later in the show from SiriusXM. He does great soccer and World Cup coverage. He's been at a lot of these games. So we will talk to him at 11:20 about where do we go from here, right? Because I'm not one of these people. Fitzy was trying to argue with me yesterday that if the U.S. men's national team were to make the World Cup final and it only got the kind of ratings that an AFC or an NFC championship game would get in the United States, that soccer would never overtake football. And, of course, it's the easiest position of all time. It is the correct position to say that soccer is not going to overtake football in terms of interest in this country. But we had the opportunity in this World Cup that we were hosting. Now, as Robert mentioned in his sports update, all 3 host nations out. We had the opportunity to do or accomplish one of the biggest, if not the biggest, sports moment in the country's history in the 250th year of our country, in a tournament that we were largely hosting, okay? And I can deal with, Robert, the idea that we would get soundly beaten by a better team throughout the course of this tournament. There are many better teams than the United States. I don't think they're as bad as they looked last night. I think that the moment, as cliche and as old school sports talk radio as I can get, I think that the moment was simply too big for them because they were dealing with this game, the pressure that would be in any normal World Cup competition, on top of what literally became, and you tell me if I'm being hyperbolic about this, an international political incident around one of the players on the roster, where you have the President of the United States speaking loudly about it last couple of days, FIFA having to defend itself on an international scale. So you're dealing with not just the pressures that come with the normal competition, but the fact that CNN and NBC and CBS are talking about this on their nightly news segments. This is an internationally, BBC, Al Jazeera, internationally covered sports politically adjacent scandal. And we just crumbled. You want to talk about petulant children with the Belgian player that scored or had the header? I would rather be a petulant child than a scared child, because that's what it was like watching Pulisic last night. That's what it was like watching the U.S. men's national team last night. I felt that they completely withered in front of a home crowd that was supposed to be one of their biggest advantages in that game. Have you been to that stadium? Have you seen a Seahawks game when they're at full throat? Pause. It's one of the most impressive sports spectacles I've ever seen. Titans played a week 2 game there a couple of years ago. Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, so that would have been 2021. Julio should have had a touchdown in that game. But it was Seattle's first game back after COVID. Seattle's first full home crowd since COVID. And it was a highly competitive game. And I saw one of the most impressive home field advantages, one of the only NFL stadiums that really has an atmosphere that you gravitate towards. Because there's not that many in the NFL. We don't do great atmospheres in the NFL very well at the majority of stadiums. It's not like college football. Seattle is one of them. When they're into it, it's as deafening an environment as you've ever experienced. We had that at our back last night, and we had it for 10 seconds. It's the least American way to go down. Like I said, it's easy to go back and do the moralizing part of this after you have the result in hand. And there are going to be a lot of people sanctimonious about this today. And there was a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, but you saw a number of people coming out on social media and being like, this is disgusting what the United States has done. I'm rooting against the national team. No, you don't root against the national team just because they got caught up in the middle of FIFA and the U.S. government's political mess. You don't root against the team. It's not their fault. What was their fault is their performance. I've never gone from having so much pride in a team, a unit, to not even wanting to be associated with them the way that they look last night. So fast. And maybe you could say, well, you're a bandwagon fan. Yeah. Yes, you are correct. We are, as a country, bandwagoning soccer. You had our attention, and you wasted it. You wasted it on that. All to let the Belgian players do the Trump dance at the end of your 4-1 ass kicking. 615-737-1045, the number. If you want to jump in, we would be happy to have you. We'll circle back to the World Cup disaster that was yesterday later on in the show. So are we just done talking about the World Cup? Luke is going to be very upset.
I mean, he can do it. I'm what was the phrase he used?
You and I just leave the studio.
What was the phrase he used in Indianapolis? This World Cup has no juice. It has no juice.
Oh no.
For me.
You're gonna turn his dismissal of the combine back around on him?
I just feel hurt.
It hurts.
I feel like you met this girl. She's here for the summer. It's like, oh, we're having a great time. But then the summer ends. She's got to go back to where she's from. You don't get to see her anymore. Nobody makes you feel like that. But then you remember that somebody does make you feel like that. And she gets back to town in August. And that somebody's the NFL. And that's who I'm going to be looking for. That's who I'm going to be writing letters for. That's who I'm going to be leaving voicemails and double texting, because that person cares about me. This person, they don't care. They were just here for the summer.
People in the chat, some commentary. Dixie says, Buck and people who have never watched a game of soccer in their life reacting like this to the USA losing is hilarious. Maybe. Maybe so. You're not going to tell me that I'm wrong today. I don't get to be wrong today. There's a lot of days where I'm wrong. This is not one of them. This is as disappointing a result as you could have possibly had. And I get what our expectations were coming in. I get that our expectations change when we played lesser competition. When we faced the first real team that we've seen in the tournament, we pooped ourselves. I get it. Okay, maybe there was always that gulf. There is that gulf, very much so. Maybe we would have seen it against Spain or France if we'd have gotten lucky against Belgium and were able to advance, or whatever top flight level of competition that we got there. But what I saw, Robert, did you watch the Cape Verde-Argentina game? One of the most exciting sporting events of my life. Because, I mean, if you're saying that I haven't watched a single game of soccer, I've watched damn near every game of this World Cup. And I'm not saying that gives me some level of soccer expertise, but I know what other teams are doing relative to what the United States is doing. I've seen Cape Verde, who was considered just there because we expanded the tournament in the World Cup. Robert, a bunch of mailmen and electricians took the best player I've ever seen in the sport down to the wire. And the best player in the world in that sport had to be the best player in the world in that sport to beat the mailmen and the plumbers from a country of 455,000. A population that is smaller than every state in the United States. Okay? They fought. To the death. They fought. Okay? And I'm not saying that you have to be the most improbable story in sports like Cape Verde was, but you have to have a little spine. U.S. didn't have it yesterday. And that is as un-American a way to go down as you could possibly come up with, given the bravado on the front end. We have a call about Van Gogh?
I believe so.
Okay, 615-737-1045, the number. John is in Nashville.
Yes, I wanted to comment on what Robert said about squinting at a Van Gogh painting. Actually, the painting I think he may be referring to as what things don't always appear to be is by Salvador Dali, called Gala Contemplating the Mediterranean, where if you stand up close to it, it looks like a woman from the back looking out a window at the Mediterranean Sea. However, if you step back about 10 to 15 feet and squint really hard, it becomes a beautiful portrait of Abraham Lincoln.
Well done, John. Thank you for the call. Do you feel smarter?
Guess I'm just wrong. Just wrong about everything. Just can't. Mr. Can't get right. KGR. Oh, nobody can hear us. Well, it's just, technically YouTube can still hear us. You can't hear me. Okay, well, we'll stay here. And just wait. No, not in here. Nope. If you're listening on YouTube, I know you can. I'm talking to YouTube. We're in EAS, and Buck. Yeah. So Buck has no concept because he can't hear me because EAS is blasting over the airwaves right now. But we will be back momentarily. In the meantime, all of you put your favorite moments from the show today.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, nice.
What were you talking to them about?
Well, you kept saying, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And I said, I know you can't hear me. I'm talking to them.
How am I supposed to hear you? Say that if I can't hear you.
I don't know.
I have the EAS in my ear, and Robert is talking to the YouTube chat.
Well, that's good.
Oh, my God.
All right, I give up.
Huh?
Have a good day. Kroll?
Oh no, I'm gonna need him later. We're gonna talk some basketball. Don't worry, I'll send your ass to the shadows eventually. What? You don't want to participate?
Just go to break.
Okay, I'm Buck Reisig. It's 104.5 The Zone.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime. A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
I can't believe you're not going to root with me for Egypt. at 11 o'clock today when they take on Argentina.
I don't want to live anymore. You hear what Alan Parsons Project is talking about? This is how I feel. Where do we go from here? Now that all the children have grown up.
It is kind of that way, right? A 4-year World Cup cycle. I mean, it's going to look drastically different. And there's always some carryover, right? 4 years is not an eternity. These guys aren't going to entirely age out. We've got a pretty young squad. So there's some reason to believe that the experience of this, because that's the positive spin here, right? You got a young team. If I wanted to spin it positively, and I don't today because they were an embarrassment, a literal global embarrassment yesterday. So I'm not going to pat them on the head and say, "Oh, look at you made it so far again this year." No, garbage.
Well, there's some 16-year-old goalie out there right now that needs to be getting his ass in gear.
We used to do that really well. That's the other thing. Justice for Tim Howard. Justice for Tim Howard. Tim Howard, who it's one of the most memorable World Cup performances of my lifetime, Robert. I assume you did not see Tim Howard and the 7,000 saves he made against Belgium in 2014 in the World Cup. But for us we have done goalies well as a country for a long time. And for that, that's not how the game was decided, because he made a pretty impressive save very early on in that game. He was just under duress. Belgium was on the attack, it felt like, the entire time. I saw somebody, I want to say it was Andrew Marchand of The Athletic. He was commenting on the game on Twitter yesterday. And I saw him put out a tweet to the effect of, if you watch soccer on a regular basis, there are moments where you feel like the other team has an additional player against your team. That's what that first half felt like between the USA and Belgium. Like they just had an extra player. Like it was the last 30 minutes of the US's previous match against Bosnia, where they're just playing with 10 men for 30 minutes. So the World Cup experience here, if you wanted to spin it positive for a young squad, you could say, well, okay, they'll know better next time. They'll be better equipped next time. They'll understand how to handle the scrutiny, the pressure, all these different things. As if these guys don't play, and I know not everybody's playing in the EPL or in Bundesliga or La Liga or any of these top flight European leagues. But these are pro athletes. Like, they understand how to handle pressure. This is the scrutiny of an entire nation on you, which some of them are not used to, obviously. But just no fight. Very disappointing. John Morosi is going to join us later on in the show, and we'll get the implications of this. So you will not pay attention to soccer moving forward in all likelihood. And I feel, talking to Robert, and I feel like everybody who had their attention grabbed by this thing for a brief moment in time, or most people who had their attention grabbed by this brief moment in time, will probably do the same. If you weren't watching the EPL before, the United States run is not going to make you an EPL fan. I don't think. If you were not an MLS fan before, now maybe if you're a Nashville SC fan, because when they come back, they're at the top of the table. And so they went into the the World Cup break with a ton of momentum, and they're the best team in the city by a mile. So maybe if you're a Nashville SC fan, or if you're a soccer fan in the city of Nashville, you saw all the fun around the World Cup, maybe you are more inclined to go to see the best team that we have in the city. It's not even close. The other two are not contenders in any way, shape, or form. Nashville SC is literally, at this time, the best team in MLS. So it's probably more regional than it is a national impact. It feels like the conversation around soccer is similar to the conversation around baseball before they started to adjust some things for pace of play, where every conversation about baseball for a period of time was, how do we fix it? And every conversation around soccer in this country is, will this be the moment that soccer really takes hold? I feel like we're there. Like, I feel like soccer has its hold. I don't know that it ever has to I don't know that it ever has to be to the United States what it is to the rest of the world. That it's the only game in town. And maybe if you're a cricket fan, I don't know. Basketball, pretty big international sport. Baseball has its places. I don't know that it has to be anything more than it is. I think the national team component of it, the Team USA component of it, the Team US versus Canada in the gold medal match moments, those are enough for us. That's all it really needs to be. If they would have advanced, do they have a better chance of captivating people, of getting young athletes, young aspiring athletes to look around and say, okay, maybe I'll play soccer instead of basketball, baseball, or football, hockey. What are you laughing at back there?
Nothing that's going to make you.
You okay?
It's not.
What are you watching?
It's the little things. It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
No, I feel like I need to know now.
I'd have to send it to you. I'm just, sometimes you just be doing something. Don't let me derail you. You're making really good points about
No, I'm done.
something.
I'm done. I got distracted.
There's a parakeet getting a fade. Guy's like a barber. He's cutting his parrot's hair.
I can't even keep your attention for 5 seconds after this thing is over.
It's so clean.
And I'm talking about the hold that the sport is going to have nationwide.
He's got like the bowl cut to the front. He got this parakeet looking so clean. I'm just trying to distract myself, man. I don't know what to do. I'm wearing a bleeping World Cup shirt.
Are you?
Cheyenne bought it for me. I tried to burn it last night, and she was like, that was $35.
You did not try to burn it.
I was upset. Never gotten to burn anything. And this isn't like the U.S. It's just like the World Cup. I can burn this.
Isn't that kind of like burning a flag?
No, not even close.
Isn't the flag on the shirt?
No, the flag is not on the shirt. It's all the mascots from the World Cup. I can burn this shirt. I can burn it. I don't even... All I got to do is look back at this. I'm going to retweet this if anybody else wants to giggle. This parrot getting the cleanest fade. I can't anymore, dude. I can't do this. I can't do it.
Soccer talk?
Yeah, I just can't get into it. I'll get into NSC, which returns this month, and I think that will help me a little bit because...
You're disingenuous.
I'm not. I'm really not, because I want to care. I do enjoy how this made me feel.
I have wanted to care about baseball for 15 years.
Yeah, but like baseball and soccer are a little different. Baseball, they had to change the rules and how the game is played to make it a more digestible sport, right? With the pitch clock and all the other stuff, because it was too boring. It was too long. Soccer is short. Soccer is quick. You know generally how long it's going to last. I enjoyed my experience with soccer. I'm just hurt right now. And when I'm hurt, I lash out. And I'm not going to stop yelling because that means I'm wrong. So no, Blonde Ambition, I will not.
What do we have to give away?
Doobie Brother tickets.
Okay, we've got Doobie Brother tickets. If you call in 615-737-1045 and tell us what in sports made you say, oh no.
This is a different court, Blair.
Same result, Slay.
Oh, okay, Blair. See, that's Tyler Tanner. See, Tyler Tanner's in the house now.
Let's see what you got. Jerry's out, Blair.
Blair, come on. Okay, Blair, just come sit down. Come on, Blair, stop. You're going to get hurt. Blair, get off the court. That's enough.
What's the verdict, Blair?
The courtroom is where I play ball.
Boy, Durham, injury law. And that ain't got no roof.
The guaranteed offer is the simplest, least stressful way to sell your home. You go to our website, you fill out a quick form, we set an appointment, we bring you an all-cash offer. Literally, there's no lockbox on the front of your house, there's no showings, we pay all cash, we close in as little as 21 days, stress-free. We've helped thousands of homeowners just like you sell your home the hassle-free way with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate.
You could nominate the entire U.S. men's national team if you wanted to. 615-737-1045, the number. You call in. You tell us what in sports made you say, oh no, this week. We'll give you 2 tickets to see the upcoming Doobie Brothers show and a $100 gift card to a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. 615-737-1045. Yes, the U.S. men's national team went out sad last night, but none sadder, Robert, than Christian Pulisic, who was quoted as saying he was disappointed in himself after the World Cup ended for the United States. It ended for him in the 59th minute when he was subbed off for Sebastian Berhalter. He was apparently dealing with what he said was an ankle and a knee injury in one play. Quote, I just totally twisted my ankle and my knee in one play. I mean, whatever. I have time to rest. It's just an unfortunate way to finish. He was called Captain America coming into this. Now, maybe that's unfair because he didn't give himself the nickname. But if he's the captain of the team, you expect better. He dealt with injury throughout the course of the World Cup. He was fine going into yesterday's game. He's being called soft. I have a tough time doing that. If the guy's legitimately hurt, he appeared to be in legit pain. I understand that, in professional athletics, a lot of times you're talking about putting your body on the line. If he can't go, he can't go. And if he's not on the field, okay, that's an indication that he's not able to play through whatever he's going to play through. You can accuse him of being soft if you want to. I just think his entire tournament was sad. In the first half yesterday, and I understand the context around the statistic that I'm about to give, courtesy of ESPN FC. Christian Pulisic lost possession 11 times in just 45 minutes, the most of any player on the field. Now, losing possession in soccer, it's one of those stats that can be overrated. It can be like completion percentage in football. I'm not comparing the two players, but if you said to me that Messi loses possession at a much higher average than your average EPL or World Cup player, but he makes up for it in the ways that he's able to create, in the ways that he's able to identify scoring opportunities and chances. He's just an incredibly gifted player when it matters most, so the possession stat for Messi is an overrated one. Pulisic did not create. He's not an inventive player. He's not a dynamic player. At least he wasn't in this World Cup. Maybe he is for AC Milan when he goes back to playing for his international club. But for the U.S. men's national team, he was not really a factor. And that is wildly disappointing for a player with the nickname Captain America.
My dumbest thing in sports.
Nope.
My oh no. Probably pretty obvious to everybody out there. Sami Zayn losing the WWE Championship last night to CM Punk after winning it just 9 days ago in Rhea is my oh no. I hated it when they did it with Rey Mysterio. If you forgot all about it, Rey Mysterio won the WWE Championship in a tournament held on Raw, and later that night he gave a handshake agreement to John Cena that he would defend that same title that night. Rey Mysterio held that title for 1 day, and he was used as a tool to get the belt off someone else to John Cena. Same thing happened with Sami, where Sami was used as a tool to get the WWE title off of Cody Rhodes or off of Gunther and to CM Punk. I hate it. I don't like it. That's my oh no.
Okay. So this is great controversy in the wrestling world?
Nah, not great controversy. CM Punk has a large fandom, so everyone's happy that he won the title. But, I mean, the dude Sami Zayn got to hold the title for like 9 days.
That's pretty lame.
Just a short. It's like Kane winning the championship and then losing it the next Raw. Like, it's just, I don't know. If you're going to let somebody hold a title, I feel like they should get a long title reign for it to mean something. And now, in retrospect, all they're going to be able to do is say Sami Zayn is a former WWE champion.
Just tack it onto a label.
Yeah, they're just giving him a little pump.
I don't know how this works in wrestling contracts. Can they use that for contract leverage?
No, none of that means anything.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
615-737-1045. What in sports made you say, oh no, for the opportunity to win some Doobie Brothers tickets and a $100 gift card to Moments Peace Salon and Day Spa? Let's start with Eric.
Hey, Robert, one quick one, too, on that. Kofi Kingston to Brock Lesnar. That wasn't a long title reign. It was another one. But my old no, guys, has to go to the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce wedding. Not the wedding itself, but one of the guests that was there, and it was former Tennessee Titans and New England Patriots currently coach Mike Vrabel. He decided to go. Now, if it had been me, I wouldn't have went. But here's my old no. They showed shots of him leaving the wedding. He came with his wife, but it showed him quickly walking to his car, getting into his car with his wife following behind him. Guys, I don't care what you say. That is not a good look. Now, whatever is going on inside his marriage, I don't care. It's none of my business. But you would think after everything he's been through, he'd be walking side by side with his wife, hand in hand, at least trying to show from the press. But the fact that he was quickly trying to get in the car with his wife, just trying to get in quickly behind him, that's not a good look, and that's my old no. Guys, y'all take care and we'll talk again soon.
Love you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. It's at best bad optics, right? Did you see the video?
I did, yeah.
He's kind of, he kind of catches the cameras off to the side of him, speeds up a little bit.
Come on, honey. Let's get in the car.
It's not quite, come on, honey, get in the car. It's, I'm getting in the car, Jen. Let's go. I don't want to laugh because, again, I feel bad for Jen for the public nature of all of this beyond any, personal stuff that's going on there. I also saw that Diana and her husband were being tracked around a pool by a person with a cell phone on a cruise ship because we're just not going to let these people fade with their shame into the background. We're just going to photograph them like animals on safari at every turn. And I'm not saying that, if you want to do it, that's fine. And I'm sure there's still money to be made from the New York Post and Page Six and these other places that will pay you for videos and images of people who have been caught in scandal. But like, at what point? She's there with her kids and her husband at the pool. He's going to a wedding. Like, what is the fascination there? Tough look, though. Buffalo is in Portland.
I'd have to agree. That's a non-story. I have to throw a shout-out to my brothers and sister. Peter, Paul, and Peggy were born today, 46 years ago, triplets in my family.
Amazing.
But this ain't Friday Fire.
I know.
Don't yell
So
at
I'm
me.
going to go, oh, no. Hey, I ruined my algorithm on Facebook and Instagram by clicking on this Cunningham girl that's pointing at everybody. I just destroyed my algorithm. I don't know what to do.
I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know how to fix the algorithm. So he's talking about the Sophie Cunningham meme that was making the rounds. Pause.
And the situation is hilarious, though. She talked about it on her podcast. Have you seen the clips from it?
I have not, no. I saw the White House aggregated it for their own purposes.
So basically, another competitor in the game, she had pointed at her to be like, it was her. And she said, don't point at me, and got really hot about it. So Sophie, being like a scab scratcher, was like, I'm going to keep pointing at you. Oh, this is really bothering you, me pointing at you? So she just kept like pointing at her, and the girl was like flipping her lid over it.
Oh, my God. All right, Buffalo gets the tickets. Well done.
Congratulations to Peter, Paul, and Peggy.
Yes.
You only get 2 tickets, so you'll have to pick one of them.
Happy birthday.
Hopefully they are picking a peck of peppers or something that they enjoy to do.
If you were a triplet and you were all named with the same letter, right? Peter, Paul, Peggy.
It's like how the Harbaughs are, like John, Jim,
right?
Jacob, Jingleheimer, Schmidt,
Robert, Rick,
Randy.
Randy's a good one. Would you resent your parents for that, for not differentiating? There's two twins that, or I guess a set of twins, identical twins, that go to the gym that I go to. And their names are Sunny and Summer, okay? And they look almost indistinguishable from one another. And I don't say that as, hopefully they don't take that as a slight if they were to hear this clip. One of them has a tattoo on the back of their neck, a sun tattoo to indicate, I think.
Summer.
I thought it was sunny.
Oh.
I think that, don't do this to me.
Well, I mean, sun is in the summer. I would think that she would not be so on the nose for sunny. Maybe she would pick like light breaking from yonder window or
I don't
something.
know. Now you're making me question everything that I know about the tattoo to distinguish them. But all I'm saying is if you were named a very similar name to your twin or to your triplet, would you resent your parents for it?
No, because my dad still says, hey, what's going on, Chase? I mean, Austin. I mean, Robbie, what's going on? He still doesn't know my name, and we all have very different names. So every time I call him, he's like, what's up, Austin? Oh, I mean, Chase. I mean, Robert, Robbie, what's going on? He don't even know my birthday. He's like, isn't your birthday coming up? Yeah, 6 days ago, Dad. Like, not holding it against him, but...
No, it's
right.
When your parents or your family members get to an age where they start calling you like the name of your uncle, though. Like if my stepdad walks up to me and says, "What's up, Tommy?" I'm like, "You okay, bud?"
You know my name. Try again.
Do I need to take your driver's license?
Give it a shot.
What's going on?
I think they should do that anyway. Don't get me started. I think they should do that anyway.
This is how you know that I was going to be, damned from the start as a child. I used to, in fits of rage, when I was being punished or grounded or something like that, I would threaten to take my parents' driver's license away and put them in a home.
Woof. I thought I was bad. I would just steal my mother's cigarettes and roll up paper and put them back in there. She's like, have you been stealing my cigarettes? No. What gives you that idea? Well, there's 3 notebook cards rolled up in the shape of cigarettes. Yeah, I smoked them. What are you going to do? Whoop me?
Can't get them back now.
Oh, she did. She whooped the hell out of me.
Oh, my goodness. LeBron watch next.
What's going on? 11:02. Good afternoon from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Down studio. I am Robert Walsh. The USA was eliminated from World Cup contention last night in a 4-1 loss in Seattle to Belgium, who now advances to the quarterfinal stage. Whoop-de-doo! The U.S. becomes the third of three host nations, joining Canada and Mexico to bow out of the World Cup in the round of 16. Belgium will face Spain. Coming up today on Fox, the round of 16 concludes as Lionel Messi and Argentina take on Egypt at 11 a.m., about to kick off in a second, and Switzerland takes on Colombia at 3 p.m. in Vancouver. For all your foundation repair and your waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
So the U.S. men's national team goes down sad last night against Belgium 4-1. I would welcome everybody who is pulling for the U.S. to help me root on Egypt against Argentina in Atlanta. And that game is actually kicking off right now. But I understand why you may not be as passionate about Mo Salah and the Egyptian national team in the wake of that U.S. men's national team loss. So I'm going to be paying attention to that game, which means I'm probably going to be useless for the remainder of the show, but that's okay because we have JP Morosi to talk soccer and what's next for the U.S. men's national team at 11:20. Greg Cosell is going to get us some football conversation. We're going to talk some college prospects, Robert. I know it's never too early for draft conversation or prospect conversation, but that's what Cosell does in the downtime that we get right now. We have 7 weeks this year before, or from the time that mandatory minicamps end and the time that training camp begins. And so Cosell during that time gets a head start on draftable prospects. So we'll talk about some college players here in just a little bit. Robert has also gotten my ear and said, take the call. What's happening? What's going on the phones?
Just a woman, Julie in Kentucky, would like to, she had an oh no moment today, even though oh no is passed, but I feel like I should let down the guardrails and let another oh no come in. Julie.
Okay. Hi, Julie.
Yes. Hi, Bucks. So my oh no moment is that I've been listening to you since you were on Braden and Fitz, and I've always kind of had a crush on you and followed you. I've called in over the years and spoken to you. I even won a pair of soccer tickets one time. And I got on the live stream today and to see what you looked like, and I said, oh, no, I definitely have to meet him now. And I'm thinking about comes that bowling thing on Thursday.
Oh, you better come to that bowling thing on Thursday, Julie. You better be there.
Julie, that's flattering. Thank you very much. It would have been much funnier if you said, oh, no, that's what you look like? That's where I thought it was going.
No. No.
But you're also a big fan of how I look, right, Julie?
What about Robert?
Yes. So Robert, I can go with the big teddy bear.
Hey, look at that. Julie, we hope to see you at the bowling event. Thank you very much for the call. We appreciate it.
Love you, Julie. Oh, that was great. That tickled me. Because the whole setup, I was like you. I thought she was like, oh, I had a crush on him. I'd listened him for a long time, but I never knew what he looked like. But then I went to the live stream and I saw him and I was like, oh, no. I have fallen for a face for radio. But no, Julie was smitten. Julie is smitten. I hate how cocky you are. Something like this would make my whole week. Something like this would make
what do you mean?
Someone
it's
finds
flattering.
Me someone finds me attractive. Oh yes, you could join the club, Julie. If someone said that to me, I would be on airs.
No, I'm very grateful.
Give Julie a flex. She's probably watching right now.
That was very sweet of Julie. I appreciate that.
What do you think about?
And if it helps, if objectifying me helps us raise some additional money for charity, and Julie shows up at the bowling event, and and a portion of the proceeds for the bowling event go to Home Street Home, then I've used my vanity for good.
I think we should use your vanity for good. I think we should squeeze all of the vein out of you. So what I would like to do now with Julie giving me this idea, I think we should have, if you buy entrance to Split Happens, which is July 16th, next Thursday, 6 to 9, $40, gets you in, all you can bowl. That also enters you in to a 1-minute speed dating session with Buck Rising.
No, I'm not doing
1 minute per ticket. If you buy a team of 6, I'll give you a whole 10. I will give you 10, count them, 10 minutes with Buck Rising.
What are you, my pimp?
Hold on now. Hey, easy, girl. Easy. Back on the corner. Daddy's working over here. So if you buy a team of 6, you get 10 minutes with Buck Rising. If you buy 1 ticket, I'll give you a 1-minute speed dating session. That is.
You've been trying to get something like this off the ground with me since you started working here. One of the first ideas you had was you should go on The Bachelor.
Yes.
And I said, no, I'm not.
I still think you should. Because you are every guy that comes on there is such a simp. Every guy that comes on The Bachelor is like, I'd say I love you. Yeah, like they're.
Oh, no, I would mop the floor with these dudes.
Right. Like you would be like the first guy that's like actually a human. That's not like this guy has a Labrador and he goes to church. He's got a perfect haircut and a good credit score. All those guys are like perfect versions of what your parents wanted you to marry if you're a woman.
My credit score is excellent.
I'm sure it is, but you're a jerk. You're not a nice guy. You don't have dogs. You have a cat. You're not nice. You're a little jagged, a little abrasive. I love this. I love Julie. This is the kind of radio that I would love to do every single day. This goofy. That's pretty much what we do every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally what you think we've been doing a serious radio broadcast?
Oh my God, the chat was loving it.
They're like, I look at this ugly SOB every day. What are you talking about, Julie?
Kroll did us the solid of putting the Split Happens tickets in the chat. If you'd like to purchase your tickets, it's going to be a lot of fun. Every single time that we get the entire Zone crew together.
No, I love the bowling event.
I look forward to it because there are so far and few between moments where like Ramon, Will, 3HL, Cover 2, us, where everyone is under the same roof. I think that's why karaoke was such a fun time. Like there are only a handful of times every year where we are all at an event and not really in a working capacity, where we get to have fun, have some drinks, hang out with listeners, enjoy ourselves. And I always enjoy those times. I wish there were more of those times. We want you guys to hang out with us. So if you want to get your tickets, come hang out with us. Expect Julie to be there. And if you'd like a minute with Buck, remember, 1 ticket, 1 minute, a full team of 6, you get 10 minutes. Links in the chat.
So what would the two of you do if I finally conceded after 4 years of you trying to get me to do The Bachelor? What would you do for because like I would have to go away. Like I would have to go away for a period of, it's like a month and a half, isn't it?
Oh, no. Oh, that would be awful. Oh, it would be so bad to have no Buck.
You say that until the two of you are sitting there staring at each other for a period of time over a month because nobody said something that the two of you can feast off of.
No, we'll be fine. Me and Lucas we'd do a daggum watch along. We'd watch like the original Muppets episodes or something. We'd figure something out. And it's about to be football. We are literally so close to football. It's around the corner. I think less than a month from the Hall of Fame game, which I don't give a rip about, but I care way more about the Hall of Fame game than I do any kind of kickball game going on.
Stop it.
I can't stand them.
You don't have to go. You don't have to go full heel.
I hate them.
You were having fun.
Oh, use your hands. Oh, you guys are too good to use your hands.
It could still be fun. This Egypt-Argentina game, it could be fun. You don't want to watch it? Look at him in protest.
No, don't want to watch it. What's the score? Don't care. Doesn't matter. Tell me when the Cardinals sign somebody in free agency.
Don't threaten me. I have at least one more month of freedom before training camp comes in and just completely absorbs my entire life. Don't threaten me yet with transactions. JP Morosi is going to join us, and we will talk a little bit about the U.S. men's national team exit and what it means for soccer in this country. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. Welcome back to the show. Speaking of love, I would love some Hattie B's. I'm very hungry.
Quarter bird, fries, greens.
Do you get the same thing every time?
Yeah.
It's okay.
I do get the same thing. I am a creature of comfort.
So you are somebody that will go to a restaurant, or if you've been to that restaurant multiple times and you'll order the same thing because you know it, it's safe, you know you like it.
Yeah, I can branch out depending on, like, if we're going to a Mexican restaurant, I have, like, a couple of Old Faithfuls. Like, if I want shrimp, I'll get, like, the a la diabla shrimp or whatever. If I want sopa de pollo, if I want, like, it depends. But I'm going to pick something that I know I like. If I'm going to branch out and try something different, it's because I'm in a different state, location, area, somewhere I haven't been before. I have no problem branching out, but generally I'm a creature of comfort.
You know what I like?
Hattie B's.
Well, I love Hattie B's. I don't like Hattie B's. I love Hattie B's.
Cats.
That too. Yeah. Although that dog that I found, we finally got her to Metro Animal Control.
Oh, really? The wolf?
Yes. We've been calling her Ghost because of the way that she has been escaping from yards, apparently from White's Creek. Not White's Creek. What's the where Target is? I'm drawing a blank right now on areas in Nashville. Not White's Creek. White's Creek is a completely different direction than
anyway, the Target.
Anyway. Yeah. It's like White's Pike or something like that. Why am I blanking on the street name? Anyway, this dog had traveled over the course of some miles for a period of basically since April, and people had been catching it. I don't know if the dog got dumped. I don't know if this dog was just an escape artist and escaped its family that owned it, but this dog had been found multiple times. White Bridge Pike, thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
It was the chat.
Okay, shout out the chat. They knew when I said Target. Well, what I was going to say is Egypt scored up 1-0 on Argentina.
Nope.
We want Bama.
No.
We want Bama.
Nah, shut it down. You can use all the football terms you want. You're not dressing this pig up for me.
Okay, but Mo Salah is sick.
Okay, you know who else is sick? Robert Saleh and his brother, David Saleh.
Does he have a brother?
On staff.
No, it's his cousin.
Oh.
And I don't
you know
think
who
it's
else
David.
is cool?
I don't think it's David.
Cousin Saleh. On staff. That's who I'm talking about.
Okay, we're not doing that yet. I'm not willing to concede. No, this damn dog had traveled it had been on the street since April. There's a whole Reddit thread dedicated to this dog. And so I'd seen it a couple of times in my neighborhood. I'm like, all right, I can't let it in the house because I don't know if it has fleas or ticks or whatever. But I can get it into the backyard, and if it'll stay overnight, then I can get Metro to come pick it up. We can get it checked out medically if I need to cover the cost or whatever. I'm happy to do it. And you know, I was even giving consideration to adopting this dog, but the first time that we were able to get the dog in the backyard, she dug out. And apparently for a period of months, she has been escaping from various yards of people who are trying to help this animal, and you know, potentially get it adopted or whatever. She's been digging her way out of yards or jumping fences or whatever. She's like a shepherd mix. So we've been calling her Ghost because she is an escape artist. So we finally got Metro Animal Control to come pick her up, which we appreciate. And if they deem her adoptable, I'm probably going to go get this dog, which is going to start World War III in my house.
That's you're going to keep it?
I think so.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, it's not like I'm not a dog person. I'm just, it just so happens that in my neighborhood, there's a lot of stray cats in North Nashville, it feels like. So it's ended up working out more in favor of the cats. It's a third dog that's shown up at my house, though. So as long as we're able to help it, that's all good. Is JP Morosi there? Okay, very good. JP Morosi is here with us to talk a little bit of World Cup. Unfortunate for the U.S. men's national team last night, JP, just outclassed, and thank you for joining us today. What did you make of the performance from the U.S. men's national team?
Well, Buck, good morning there in the great city of Nashville. Very dear to my heart. I've got some family there and always love visiting Nashville. But that was certainly, I thought I was going to be having a different conversation with you today. When that game began last night, I was really optimistic. The way the U.S. had played throughout the group stage and then in the round of 32. it just didn't happen. And it didn't happen from the first minute. It took a really good save from Freeze to keep it goalless at that point, and the U.S. never really got into the game. And that's not a hot take. That's just the reality. That's what we all saw. And even the U.S. manager, Mauricio Pochettino, said as much after the game. We never really got into a rhythm, and I think we could all see that. So a disappointing end to what was and remains, by the way, a great World Cup hosted by the United States. But we thought, so many of us thought, that the game on home field in Seattle, where the U.S. have played so well, that it was the perfect circumstance to stamp a signature win. But here we are now, still looking for the same type of success, where we have not been able to beat quality European teams in the knockout round in the modern era, and that remains a story today.
At John Morosi on Twitter is where you follow him, and he tweeted last night, the U.S. at this World Cup, culturally and commercially, massive steps forward. Competitively, a fifth straight men's World Cup appearance that ended shy of the quarterfinal. So when you put it into that category of the historical context of the U.S. men's national team in international competition, and specifically in the World Cup, is this more of the same, or are we seeing any level of advancement? Because for me, John, I'm a little bit soccer ignorant. I'm interested. I'm invested, especially when the U.S. men's national team or women's team is having any level of success. Same for the Olympics. But when I see a result like this, it's hard for me to not do the stereotypical thing, shrug my shoulders and say, okay, more of the same. The U.S. men's national team is not truly a competitor on the international stage. Is that an accurate assessment?
We are not elite. And that's what was proven last night. And again, if we can't beat Belgium in that spot, you start to wonder, when could we ever beat Spain or France in a competitive match at this level? So I think it is a fair representation of where we are. And then invariably, there will be two responses. Number one is, what's going on in the big picture? Why are we not at the level of France, of Spain, of Belgium yesterday from a standpoint of technical skill, the ability to win a game like that? Is it in the organization at the very youth levels, which I suspect has part of it? When you fail on a big stage, it's very rarely one thing. And I know that people will replay the third goal conceded with the play that Freeze made very awkwardly. That was among the many reasons why the U.S. lost the game. That was not the defining moment of why they lost the game. They were never really in the game. And now you have to ask the very difficult question of why. And I think that those who have said today, and you see it in Nashville, in baseball, in soccer, we see it where I live in Michigan, it's all around the country. Soccer is an expensive sport. The way that it works at the youth levels to get the elite coaching, the system as it is set up is not set up to bring in and cultivate and teach and instruct the best and most elite athletes. There is a way to do it. We haven't gotten there. I think the way the U.S. system has been created is just simply not designed to put a team on the field that is the level and the peer of France and Belgium, obviously based on last night. I think we now have to ask the question of why and how motivated we are to change it, because there's a lot of stakeholders, whether you're the director of a youth soccer club in any city in our country and the amount of money that's coming in from travel sports, you have a vested interest in keeping it the way that it is. And that to me is going to be a big question. How far do we go down the road of reforming the way that it works at the youth level? That's part of it. The second part of it is that my hope for all of us is that everybody go to more MLS games or other levels of professional soccer or even semi-pro soccer in our communities. You've got a great MLS franchise in Nashville that does it the right way, plays in a beautiful venue. And of course, as you know, Nashville, one of the hosts of Olympic soccer in the Olympics in LA 28. So you've got the next major big soccer showcase happening in our country is going to be right there in Nashville. That's awesome. And so we all of us who care about the game, even if we're more of a casual fan, we can all help move the country forward in soccer by supporting our clubs, by doing the right things as parents and as youth players, coaches, whatever role we have in the ecosystem. I hope that last night, as much as it stung, hope it helps everyone wake up today and say, you know what, there's something that I can do, whatever you are, supporter, coach, player, fan, parent, whatever your role is, we can all be a little bit better if we want to have the results be different 4 years down the line.
No, it's a great point by you, and we were talking about this earlier, just within the local context, JP, of the idea. Okay, so maybe it does not, cause this grand sweeping change. It feels like it's talked about in terms of, okay, when is soccer going to have this huge movement? When is soccer going to overtake football, or whatever extremes you want to go to when talking about the pecking order of professional sports in this country? But I just think from a local sense, I am more inclined to go to a Nashville SC game coming off of this World Cup appearance because I've enjoyed the competition. Obviously, Nashville SC, as you mentioned, is at the top of the table in MLS when MLS returns from the World Cup break that we are on right now, the hiatus that we're on right now. And seeing the way that B.J. Callahan and the powers that be with Nashville SC have worked to grow this game regionally in ways that I really didn't expect it to have that foothold. Now, you build a winner anywhere, it's going to get some level of attention, some level of gravitas to it. We saw the same thing here in Middle Tennessee with the Nashville Predators and making a Stanley Cup run several years ago, and the way that further entrenched them into our sports consciousness. I just think that Nashville SC, we're very lucky that Nashville SC seems to be a quality organization, and that we, in the midst of MLS expansion, were able to land a quality organization.
Oh, it's a great point. And similarly, I think back, and I cover a fair amount of ice hockey too, we're now seeing players drafted by United States Hockey League teams and OHL teams that have as their birthplace or their local club the Junior Preds, or their birthplace is Nashville, Tennessee, and you're seeing them work up, and that is the benefit of people who are around the sport. I know Martin Erat's done a lot of coaching in the Nashville area. David Legwand is now up in the Michigan area. He's been very involved in junior hockey. So you think about what it takes, and you can often measure a triumph of a sport in a community or a country in a generation. There are going to be kids who are 5 and 6, 7 years old who are watching this World Cup who just right now have the ball outside and are dreaming big dreams, and that's what we want. The other part about soccer that is unique and wonderful is that the barrier to entry of learning how to play the game, juggle, play with your friends, the barrier to entry is a ball. That's it. You can get better with the ball. And I think that, I love baseball. You need more kids, more equipment, bat, gloves. There's more things involved there. Soccer, the beauty is in the simplicity. And there's a reason why, if you really trace back a lot of the stories of the greatest players, not just in the U.S., but also all around the world, many of them have come from humble backgrounds, humble beginnings, to where they were on either in a small group or they were learning their technical skill, their dribbling in a very humble and very Spartan backyard or patio or town square or sand lot, whatever it ends up being. You don't need all the fancy things to become great at this sport. And I think that is part of why it is one of the great uniters in the world. Doesn't matter where you came from, any part of your background, if you can play the game, you can play the game. And I think that's for a country as big as we are, the temptation is always, all right, let's put some fancy uniforms on the kids and make it all look great and professional. Whereas sometimes that's not the actual way to result in the best players. It's that organic way that some of the masters of the game have done it. So the answer is often, when you lose a big game, it's got to be this theory, it's got to be that theory. The answer is usually it's probably a little bit of both. But I think we had the right coach. I think we had a lot of the right players. They didn't perform very well yesterday. And I think the fear for me, Buck, is that so much of the last 8 years of this sport, we learned that the U.S. was going to be hosting this World Cup during the 2018 World Cup in Russia, which the U.S. was not part of.
Right.
We didn't qualify for that one. So we get back in 22 in Qatar, some good moments there, but the thought was always, well, we didn't advance that far in Qatar, but we're going to be a lot better in 4 years when it's on our home soil, when this group of players, Pulisic, McKennie, and Adams, and his group, Dest as well, they're going to be in their prime years. Well, the result was the same. And now that same group's going to be 4 years older in the future, and we might have actually seen, we just saw last night, unfortunately, the last game of the prime years in the World Cup of some of these players. That's really tough.
Yeah.
Because 4 years from now, they'll be playing in Europe, Buck, and it's going to have to be some different, newer faces. So the goal for all of us now is to keep the momentum going. It's not the easiest, but I've got faith in Nashville because of the MLS, because the Olympics are going to be there. Again, my niece and nephew play the game there and love it, so I'm optimistic about the future there.
Well, I want to go back to what you said about the barrier of entry for the sport itself and how we're seeing evidence of that. Now, I know Cape Verde is an extreme example, right? I mean, that's that game against Argentina. And full disclosure, JP, not to be disrespectful, but I have the Egypt-Argentina game in front of me as we're having this conversation. I've got
That's okay. You can do two screens at once.
Yeah, it's well, I just want to make sure that I'm transparent about it. Like, I want to give you my full undivided attention, but I'm also half Egyptian, so I've got a little bit of a vested interest here in seeing the Egyptian goalie deny Messi and start this game out very, very strong. In Mercedes-Benz, or Atlanta Stadium, excuse me, is captivating at the start of this game. Egypt up 1-0 for those of you who are also watching. But I want to go back to what you said about the barrier of entry and the way that the U.S. sometimes approaches the sport versus the Cape Verde example, right? Cape Verde made the best player in the world, likely in the history of the sport. You could certainly put him in the conversation in Lionel Messi. They made him have to be the best player to go out and win a game against a team that is essentially, plumbers and taxi drivers and accountants by day, some of them outright unemployed. You see these examples of just pure fight and determination. And that, I think, the juxtaposition of Cape Verde, again, an extreme and one of the most improbable stories in all of sports, even getting eliminated when they did, versus what the U.S. appeared to be yesterday, was very disheartening because I felt that they went out with a whimper. I think Alexi Lala said this correctly in the post game. They went out with a whimper as opposed to the roar that they came in with, especially given all, for lack of a better term, the international political scandal that Balogun's red card became in the lead up to this match.
Yeah, there was certainly a lot going on in the last 36 to 48 hours. And certainly the U.S. men's national team players, it was not their fault. Did it affect the energy around the team, their mindset? I hope not. They've said the right things afterward. And they certainly, when you lose 4-1, you can't say that a distraction about if a player could play or not based on heads of state and FIFA, you can't use it as an excuse, nor did they. So that's the important point, is they didn't use it as an excuse. But clearly it became a bit of a distraction outwardly and maybe detracted from some of the unbridled positive energy that we saw occurring from just the fan base and a truly united country. I think that the takeaway from this overall experience will be that this was and remains a very uniting experience for the U.S., for Canada, for Mexico, where I think all three countries have shined in their role as hosts, being very gracious and welcoming to the world. That's what you want, and I think it's a great example for all of us. But I think that you're right about the way that game felt. There was a certain belief about that the team from 2002 through like 2010, it was a gritty group of American players. Gritty. Clint Dempsey, I think, in some ways typifies it. Very, very humble roots for him in East Texas, and just the way that he learned the game and grew up and made himself into one of the most prolific goal scorers in the history of our country. In fact, tied with Landon Donovan at that level. He just had that grit in him. It was hardwired into who he was. And certainly there's a lot of great characters, a lot of grit on this U.S. team, but it just didn't show up last night in the way that you would have hoped. And it's not fair to say, well, they had plenty of grit against Paraguay and Australia, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. No, it didn't disappear, but they didn't play with that style. They didn't lead with that. Whereas I think teams of an earlier vintage, they did kind of had that, well, the Americans are never going to be counted out. They're going to have this aggression that will be with them for 90 minutes plus. We didn't really see that. The U.S. received the game more than it dictated the terms yesterday, and that, I think, was disappointing. You can lose in a way that inspires. Check out Mexico on Sunday, where the English fans, there's some great videos around social media of the English fans and the Mexican fans kind of congratulating each other on a great match, which is what it was. Last night was not a great match. It was an impressive win for Belgium. It was a clinic by Belgium. It was not a classic sports moment in the way that Sunday's game was for Mexico and England because of the way it was played. And I think, and you're right, but that, Buck, is why we love sports, and that's why things like the Olympics and why the World Cup are so emotionally investing for all of us. You got one shot, and if it doesn't work, you got to wait 4 years. And if you're too old 4 years from now, sorry. I mean, that is like the ultimate. There's no mulligans. There's no retake of the test. There's no going back. That's it. And that's why these sports are so beautiful and so heartbreaking at times. And last night's game illustrated it, because I wish there's something I could say about, hey, the next time, but there's not a next time for this group. Yeah, we might have a Copa America in 2 years, the Olympics, as we talked about, but that's it. I'm certainly get behind the women's team next year for the World Cup in Brazil, but there's a real disheartening feeling that not only did the U.S. lose last night, Buck, but they didn't give it their very, very best heart, mind, body, and soul, and that's the hard part today.
What is the most fair criticism of Christian Pulisic?
Just that he never delivered in the 3 World Cups that he could have played in. The first one, of course, he tried to help the U.S. qualify, didn't ultimately qualify in 18. 22, he was okay, but he's never lined up the form and fitness all together for his country at the same time. He's had some good moments. He's playing in AC Milan right now, one of the top clubs in Italy, which is great. He is one of the most talented American players ever. Notice I said most talented, not the most accomplished. And ultimately, you are judged on your productivity and what you deliver. And if you look at just World Cup goals and overall national team goals, and again, he still has a lot of years left. I would expect he's still on the team in 4 years. I believe he will be, but it's just that lacking of the true production and the ability to be devastating in possession. That's his game. He is meant to be, whether he's playing on the wing or as an attacking midfielder or as a false nine, he is supposed to be someone that consistently drives possession, makes creative plays with the ball, and allows the rest of the team to become a better version of themselves. Just didn't happen yesterday. And obviously there was the injury, and so there's an asterisk there, but it seems that there is often an asterisk for him. And at the end of the day, part of your potential, as they say, Buck, in sports, the best ability is availability. And it just seems as though, whether it's by luck, happenstance, misfortune, or just not all being there always, he's never quite been able to deliver on the biggest stage. You're like, it'll go down as probably his best World Cup moment to date was one of the goals in the first half against Paraguay, but that first half is still going to be remembered as Balogun's first half. So he was never really the brightest star for this team in this World Cup. And unless he really changes things as he gets older, which, as we all know in sports, is hard to do, this may have been his last best chance to become a true American sporting icon. Very talented player, very successful player in Europe, but not an American hero writ large. And that's why last night's opportunity was just so disheartening to watch it fade away.
He's John Morosi. You can follow him at John Morosi on social media. Really, really appreciate your time and your insight on short notice, JP. It's the second time we've had a conversation here in the last couple of days. Appreciate you jumping on the Fox show as well. Thank you for making us smarter.
You got it. Hey, well, we'll stay in touch. And again, take great care of that city that means so much to our family. It's a beautiful place, and can't wait to be there again soon.
Absolutely. It's JP Morosi with us on 104.5 The Zone. Robert, this Egyptian goalie, I know you're not in on this anymore.
I don't care. He's out of his mind. Ooh, he's playing really well. Ooh.
He is shutting down Argentina right now in the early going, right? We're in the 41st minute right now in this round of 16 game that's going on in Atlanta.
I would also like to disown Lucas from this show. You were doing a great job interviewing there.
Thank you.
So you missed it. But Lucas got into the chat. Not that chat. Our chat on our phone. And I don't want to do it right here. But I'll tell you what he said, and I think it is worth disowning.
Next. So Lucas is in Brazil for the rest of the week. He's visiting family. He was hopeful that Brazil would win in the round of 32 so that the vibes would be good when he arrived in one of his home countries of origin, the one that we believe is the most fraudulent of the countries that he claims. And they won. And then they got dusted by a Viking, and Norway bounced them from the tournament. And Lucas sent us a 4.5-minute video describing all of the different ways that Brazil let him down. And then he sent us another 4.5-minute video saying that it was now incumbent upon the U.S. to lift his soccer hopes up. And Robert then did some Big J journalism in the middle of that video and discovered that Lucas said that the U.S. would fall flat on his face. So like the witch doctor from, was it Congo? Which of the African nations had the witch doctor that was cursed? Oh, Cape Verde. It was Cape Verde.
Doesn't matter anymore. I've erased all of it from my memory.
The witch doctor said that Argentina and Cape Verde would go to penalties and that Messi would miss a critical penalty kick and Cape Verde would bounce Argentina. Now, obviously, that hasn't happened. But, Robert, I've got this Egypt game on. They're up 1-0. 47th minute, they added 5 minutes of extra time to the first half. It's the first time that Argentina has trailed in the World Cup at all. That doesn't do anything for you?
You could be watching badminton. I don't care. Does not matter to me. And something that doesn't matter to Lucas.
Yeah, tell me why you want to disown Lucas.
Well, my cause for concern here, my biggest issue is Lucas got in our group chat and said, bleep yes, Egypt. You guys scoring your initial goal, taking the lead. I said, no more of this. We are done with soccer. He replied with no.
Defiance.
I said plainly, no more soccer. Lucas responded with maybe the most heinous and hurtful thing
Should probably look at this group text.
he has ever said to me. I would banish the NFL into the sun to keep this going. To which Ross and I both responded with, take it back. You don't mean that. Take it back right now. Lucas said, I have felt more alive in these last 3 weeks than anything the NFL has ever provided. And I provided a screenshot of me being a finger click away from removing him from the group chat, which I could not do because I know him and he wouldn't join it back and I wouldn't get to talk to him at all. But I'm troubled by this.
Than anything the NFL has ever provided?
Has ever provided.
Well, I can't say that.
That's nuts. That's blasphemous.
I mean, that's how the world feels.
No.
Lucas is essentially...
the world traveler, the world citizen.
I mean, I would say, I wonder who's been to more countries, me or Lucas. I'm going to say me. But Lucas has been trying to get us off NFL offseason conversation, which, by the way, even though the NFL has given me a very, very comfortable lifestyle, of which I'm greatly appreciative, I'm largely with him, Robert, on NFL offseason conversation. I'm bored by it. Now, what Lucas and I want doesn't matter.
Now, you don't mean the entire NFL offseason. You mean the last month and a half.
Yeah, summer.
Yes.
Summer.
So
I don't want to do lists.
Free agency, draft, all that's fine.
I don't want to do lists. I think it's boring. I think it's lazy. Yes, we do it sometimes because there's, we've got 3 hours a day and I've got 2 hours nationally on Saturdays. Like, yeah, at some point I'm going to do NFL offseason radio, okay, in the summer. I'm going to have no choice. But while there are still options, I am largely with Lucas on, I don't want to talk about this crap because the only thing that's even remotely of interest to me has been Jeffrey Simmons being slighted, and I don't want to. That's not actual substantive conversation. That's just NFL players did a stupid thing, which is vote Jeffrey Simmons 83rd out of 100.
When's camp report?
The 28th.
Okay. So we have less than just about 20 days. If you take weekends out, weekends don't count. They're fun for everybody. We got about 15 days we got to get through, which I will indulge you guys. If y'all want to keep talking about kickball and all that, Well, that's fine. But when we have real things to talk about, Daddy's home.
Well, this is real. This is real. 1-0, halftime.
That's
Egypt
all right.
over Argentina.
I've been excited about one goal before. I've been excited.
So you want to ban Lucas. Now, to say it's more exciting these last 3 weeks than anything the NFL has ever provided.
What does he say to you when you do this? You come in and act like something is the worst thing or the best thing that's ever happened. He calls you a prisoner of the moment.
Yes.
I think he is what's a willing prisoner called? A turncoat? He is a turncoat of the moment.
Traitor?
He is a traitor.
Elmo?
He is a traitor of the moment.
A traitor of the moment.
This is what if Lucas lived in a utopian society, soccer would be number one. NFL would be taking the backseat. We would be minor citizens in Lucas's utopia.
Well, and I would say that I would be okay with that, Robert, if I didn't make money.
Oh yes, let's make sure you talk more about soccer on that Fox show. Come on, I'm sure that's really pushing the peg forward.
I mean, listen, I will take money from basically whoever is willing to pay me, and right now that's 5 different entities. So I will grift as long as need be for the purposes of my own self-enrichment. But if it was, we can get into this later. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. final hour is upon us. The U.S. men's national team goes down in smoke last night against Belgium. And the processing of emotions, I think, has gone from, okay, wholehearted disappointment, and in some situations, disgust for the way that they performed, which was, I mean, maybe you think to call it pathetic is too harsh. Maybe you think that it's not harsh enough. I don't know. I'm seeing all level of opinions about why the U.S. failed or what caused the U.S. to fail or that the U.S. was going to fail no matter what because we don't beat quality European national clubs. What I'm watching, though, is a performance by Egypt against Argentina right now, where Egypt has Argentina trailing for the first time in this World Cup. Their goalie has been excellent. The one thing, I mean, I don't even want to put the entire loss last night on the U.S. goalie. This dude from Harvard, Freeze. He had the most egregious error, right? He had the most embarrassing error that put them in a 3-1 hole. But the U.S., I mean, they couldn't keep Belgium out of their end at any point. They were just on the defense the entire time. Belgium was shelling them. And Freeze, even if he hadn't made an egregious error there, was going to be under duress all night. And that was apparent early on. What my contention has been, do we have a Lucas video, by the way? Didn't he send us like a 6.5-minute video?
It's like 6:50, I think.
God almighty.
No, it's good. It's good. Let him get it out of his system.
Well, he's not going to get out of his system. He's going to want to keep doing World Cup stuff when he gets back.
That's fine. He can do that by himself. I won't be listening, pulling audio, inputting, nothing. I'm out on kickball. My heart is broken.
What if Messi gets bounced? What if the defending champs get bounced by... I can't call it my country of origin. I'm born in the United States, but I have an Egyptian passport. So what if Messi, what if the GOAT, what if one of the most prolific players in the history of the sport, if not the most prolific player in the history of the sport, on the defending World Cup champion gets bounced by a team that had never won a World Cup game before this tournament? What then?
Someone will defeat them at some point.
Stop it.
I assume.
No.
That will be for someone to consume.
Why would you do that?
But not for me. Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance.
Well, I think that's kind of the point I'm trying to get across. I brought up Cape Verde against Argentina and the fact that a country of 450,000, just over, was holding its own with plumbers and mechanics against the greatest player in the history of the sport. Argentina was able to get past Cape Verde, but Cape Verde being there in the first place was remarkable and showed grit, determination, and fight. Egypt is showing grit, determination, and fight against that same Argentina team. And what I watched was the U.S. try to puff its chest out. Now, I'm not saying the team, right? This is not an indictment of the team. The team, how many people are separating that issue today? Separating the idea. Because I think there's going to be criticism on both sides. I think you're going to have, and I say this as somebody who is a media member, but I do think that it is fair that there is to classify media, especially when you get the political pundits involved, to classify now in a world where we don't seem to have outright objective news. We have liberal media, we have conservative media, right? And I'm not here to do a political spiel on a sports talk radio show, but yesterday the Balogun thing became an international sports/political incident, okay? So there's literally no sticking to sports when you've got the President of the United States speaking at a podium about the World Cup and the U.S. men's national team. So you're going to have people writing, and a contingent of liberal media today, writing or saying, well, Donald Trump got involved in ways that he shouldn't have, and the U.S. men's national team got what it deserved, which is stupid. It's a stupid opinion that some people are going to have today. It's the same people that were rooting against the U.S. men's national team yesterday because FIFA did a corrupt thing, a dirty thing, and the U.S. government was involved. You're also going to have people who are staunchly in the party of well, the U.S. men's national team didn't perform. And whether they had Balogun or not yesterday, they were going to get their ass whipped. And that's just what we do. We don't compete well at that stage. On that stage, we don't compete well against better, not even elite, but better European clubs. We never have. So they were always going to hit a ceiling. And I'm sitting here in a middle road type of way, looking at this and saying, okay, Trump got involved and FIFA is corrupt, but that's not on the U.S. men's national team. Could the outside noise have impacted them? Potentially, but then how feeble-minded are they that they are not able to focus on the task at hand and lock in for what is one of the most important games in our history in the sport? Are they so weak, are they so frail that they can't handle it? And the answer yesterday was yes. It's got nothing to do with the politics around the situation. It's got nothing to do with the U.S.'s history as a soccer, as a national team when it comes to World Cup performance. It's this year's team crumbled after looking, or at least presenting, no, we're real. We're here to whip ass, take names, America bleep yeah, puff our chest out, let's go whip some waffle ass. And then we got our asses whipped by the Waffles. That should be their team name, the Belgium Waffles. It's a little too on the nose.
What else are they good for?
I'm sure something. I feel like that part of the world does chocolate really well, so I support that. Got a sweet tooth.
I'm allergic.
To chocolate?
Yep, since I was a baby.
What?
Yep, can't have milk chocolate.
Are you kidding me?
No, I've never been a big chocolate guy. Apparently, my mom bought me a chocolate cake for like my second birthday, and I slammed my face in it, and by the time they wiped it off, I was covered in hives, couldn't breathe, was like suffocating. So just haven't had chocolate since I was like a little kid.
Well, that's a shocking upset. I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, it's okay. Chocolate's kind of overrated.
I don't think that's true at all. But
Belgium's top exports are dominated by pharmaceuticals, vehicles, and petroleum products. Oh, okay. So now we got to worry about our petroleum jelly being messed up.
When's the last time you used petroleum jelly on anything?
I know you don't know this because you're bow-legged as hell, but fat people get chub rub from walking around when it's hot. Petroleum jelly.
Bow-legged? I'm not Blaine. What are you talking about?
You are bow-legged, dude.
No, Blaine is bow-legged.
You got skinny legs. You got skinny little bird legs. You be going to Arm Farm Friday and all that, but you don't be doing your calf raises, and you don't be doing your, I about thought Bulgarian was Belgium. You don't be doing your Bulgarian squats.
I literally did them on Monday.
Your cheeks are lacking.
I don't think that's true.
They're not pistol packing.
I don't think that's true. You can grab you a handful sometime.
I'll take you up on that. You better watch out.
Somebody said Belgium makes good guns. Okay, good.
Driven by massive hubs like the Port of Antwerp. I saw a lot of twerps last night.
Well, those twerps stuck our head in the toilet, bud.
They just needed me. They need a goon. They need someone to go out there and just beat the hell out of people, take a red card. Oh, I'm suspended. Sorry. Like, get who is our best as Americans? Who is our best ass kicker right now?
Oh. On the soccer team?
No. Like the best fighters from America right now. Like we need to go get, like I was going to say George St. Pierre, but he's Canadian. So
yeah, French Canadian.
So I don't know. Get to be the most
fighters.
Get Sean Strickland on the team just so he goes out there, bebops a couple people, gets his red card, he's out.
So something wildly racist or homophobic or.
And then we launch him into the.
I
shouldn't
even laugh at him. Like he's a huge problem. And I get that, you know, he's participating in blood sport. He's a human cockfighter for a living. For God's sake, so you don't expect those people to have a level of refinement to them. But, woof.
The ghost of Chuck Norris, yes. We will get a ghost to whoop their ass. That's about as good as the plan we had last night.
A ghost would have put up more of a fight.
We need a ghost would have made a better goalie.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have kicked the ground. His foot would have went right through it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Egypt's goalie is a nobody, right? Like, I don't say that to denigrate him, but like I'm going back to what JP Morosi was saying with us earlier, which is the barrier to entry for this game is simply a ball. and that we make it such an expensive thing to participate in that we class out or price out a level of athlete that would otherwise improve our ability to compete at the highest levels because we've turned soccer in this country into an elitist sport or a country club sport when it's not. It's a backyard sport. It's a street sport, for God's sakes. The fact that this Egyptian goalie is blanking Messi right now, literally Messi, and Messi's not playing his most crisp game, and I'm sure as soon as I say this, he'll get out there and he'll do something remarkable and improve his scoring total to 8 in this World Cup at my team's to my team's detriment. But then I'm watching a bunch of nobodies out here who play in minor leagues elsewhere in the world who are not even MLS quality necessarily. I'm watching these dudes play with the best of the best, and I'm sitting there thinking, how the hell could we not do that? Like not even that we got beat. It's okay. I'm not going to say it's okay to get beat, but there's something to, like, Robert, if a college basketball team makes the Final Four, that's an accomplishment. You are maybe not honored, but you are remembered as a team that made the Final Four that year. Because the basketball tournament, the college basketball tournament is massive. And in a field of 68 teams, yeah, if you make it to the Final Four, that's good on you. If you make it to the Elite Eight, right? So the round of 16 in the World Cup is an accomplishment. I'm watching a team in Egypt in the round of 16 who's never won a World Cup game before. This is the most remarkable run that country has ever had and will be remembered as such, even if they don't win the thing. But that we just got dog-walked. That we could not show the fight and the spirit of some of these, I don't want to say lesser nations, but nations who certainly have less than we do and have basically athletes on par, if not worse than us, that we lacked the spine yesterday. And that Belgium got to make a mockery of us. And not just our soccer team, but it's really mocking us as a nation when they're out there doing the Trump dance. And you can't even push back on them because we made a mess of this thing on the front end with how the whole Balogun thing played out and the international community after weeks and damn near a month of loving us and loving us as a host nation and all these different things. As soon as a political figure gets involved, and I would have said this about Biden if he'd have done the same. I would have said this about Bush or Obama. It's not just because Trump is a particularly hated figure in the international community. You can deny that if you want to. I think most of us acknowledge that it is so. So that he gets involved and gets an outsized level of blowback for the U.S. men's national team, I don't know. Because yesterday we were making jokes and not really joking about, yeah, if the corruption works out for us, okay, we're good. I'm as guilty of it as anybody. I wanted Balogun to play. I thought the red card was bogus. And I understand that it upended when you have a political figure calling in on your behalf for a sporting event, you start to make a mess of the entire thing. And I shrugged my shoulders just like most of us yesterday and said, okay, go USA. It's just a shame to see the lack of fight. Because we collectively as a country then puffed out our chest and said, yeah, well, we would have beaten you anyway without this guy. And then we just got smacked by a pretentious little, what did you call him? Petulant child from Belgium yesterday.
Are we done now? Oh, we still have Lucas's 6.5 minute filibuster on the U.S. If you'd like some actual soccer stuff.
Sad boy analysis next. Goal in the 58th minute. Are you not entertained? Robert Walsh, 2-0. Egypt over Argentina in this round of 16 match. Going down in Atlanta, I should have bailed today. I should have just let you and Kroll do the show. What would you have done? What would that have looked like for 3 hours, the two of you?
I'd be running a best of. if you think I'm gonna do a show, you're nuts.
Oh no, they're reviewing the goal. I'm scared. Was he offsides?
That's what you get. Oh, offside.
No.
He's on the wrong side.
We're on.
Wrong side.
You didn't know what that was until the other day.
I had no idea. I had absolutely zero idea.
Are they waving it off?
Thank God. Yes, take it from them. Take it from them like you took it from me.
Well, no, because the U.S. wasn't scoring goals. And when they did...
Well, I hope that they wave this off and then they
10 seconds.
immediately go tie it. That's what I hope. I hope that you are sitting in the loser's lounge with me and Lucas.
Okay, No, damn it. I waved it off.
Yes, fall at the foot of
That's as
Europe,
close.
Egypt. Yes, wait.
Of Europe?
Who were they playing?
Argentina.
Oh, never mind. Fall at the foot of Argentina.
Robert.
I didn't know where they were playing or who they were playing.
Messi.
I didn't pay attention.
Okay.
I'm back to not caring.
Oh, no. All right. Well, that was fun for a minute. I still 1-0 as we work our way through VAR. Damn you, VAR. So Lucas has a postmortem. Lucas is sending us World Cup dates as he's on vacation in Brazil. Lucas is texting us right now. Why is he's...
Are you not entertained? Nope, they took the goal away. It's not entertaining. You got psyched up for nothing. Are you not entertained? Oh, it's so good. This sport is so good.
I mean, it is good. It's still high drama. Isn't that what you want from sports?
No.
Drama? You don't want drama in your sports?
I don't want anything from
like on the
sports
field?
anymore. I don't even care about sports. I'm going to get into chess.
That's not true.
Or
Chess
checkers.
is a sport.
I'm going to get into bodybuilding.
Kind of a sport. Right?
I'm going to get into bird watching. I don't know. I'm done. Tired of having my heart ripped out. It's not fun. I'm just going to be the worst sports fan imaginable. I'm just going to like whoever is winning.
Apparently, there is controversy in the VAR review for Egypt.
Go figure.
At least that is what the chat is informing me of. I don't have the audio on because I am going to at least attempt to do the radio show. In fact, why don't we let Lucas do the next 6 minutes of the radio show, and I'll watch the Egypt game.
Okay, that sucked. A sobering end to what had been an inspiring World Cup so far for the U.S. men's national team. And they looked like a team that was unprepared, that was not ready to meet the moment, that was flat, that was uninspired. And honestly, they looked like a team that let the news cycle of the last 48 hours leading up to kickoff affect them and distract them. And I find myself, after the game, in hindsight, wishing that the Fuller and Balogun stuff had never happened, that the U.S. had just taken it on the chin. They had accepted the one-game suspension and used it as motivation, as a chip on their shoulder. Now, I understand that it's foolish to think that that changes the outcome of this game, because Fuller and Balogun was far from the worst player on the field for the U.S., and there were some dreadful individual performances from this U.S. team last night. Tim Ream at the back, Matt Freese in goal, who, to their credit, had been very good leading into this game in this World Cup, did highlight a lot of the concerns that U.S. fans had coming into this tournament. In that part of the lineup, they were slow to react. It leads to the first Belgium goal, which gives Belgium all the momentum, and the U.S. at no point had a foothold in this game. At no point had Belgium's backs against the wall, and the U.S. were just chasing for the rest of the game. Even after Malik Tillman's free kick deflects in, and it's 1-1, maybe 2 minutes later, Belgium regains the lead, and the U.S. goes right back to chasing. The Matt Freese mistake, just to me, kind of a stark reminder of how far the goalkeeping position has fallen for the U.S. And maybe that's unfair to Matt Freese because it's one mistake, but that's how that position works, right? Coming way off his line, trying to play with the ball at his feet, and to not even be able to make contact with the ball, losing possession like that, and giving up that goal is the nail in the coffin. And it's a position that the U.S. typically has been incredibly strong at goalkeeper. And then there's Christian Pulisic. And there has to be a conversation about Christian Pulisic, who coming into this tournament had a massive, massive opportunity as a player who is probably the most talented that the U.S. has ever put out, that has reached heights individually at the club level that no U.S. player has ever reached, has won Champions League, played at the highest levels in Germany, England, Italy, but has not yet had that signature moment to really cement his legacy with the U.S. men's national team. Obviously, this summer was a huge opportunity for him to have that moment. And he, in the first half against Paraguay, was excellent, was maybe the best version of Christian Pulisic that we've seen in a U.S. shirt. But he obviously leaves that game injured at halftime. He doesn't play in the second half. He misses the Australia game. He comes off the bench against Turkey and starts against Bosnia and is fine. But last night was dreadful. And it was one of the worst performances we've ever seen, maybe the worst, in a U.S. shirt from Christian Pulisic. And in a tournament where the biggest stars are stepping into the spotlight, where Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe and Harry Kane and so on, Erling Haaland, are stealing the show and rising to the moment, the U.S.'s biggest star on the global stage faded as the tournament went on. And it's one of many reasons why the U.S. is bounced in the round of 16. So that's kind of the zoomed-in analysis. As we zoom out, the U.S. out in the round of 16, and we can't move the goalposts. We said the barometer for success for this team was a quarterfinal appearance, and they fell short of that. They were bounced in the same spot that they were bounced in 2022, in 2014, and in 2010. And the worst part is those last World Cups, 2010, 14, and 22, they were more competitive in those round of 16 games. And they left with a performance that U.S. fans could be proud of, whether it was that 2014 game against Belgium, a much more loaded and talented Belgium squad than we saw last night. The U.S. pushed them to the brink of extra time, losing 2-1 in a valiant effort. In 2022, the youngest team at the 2022 World Cup, the United States, with a lot of the same players that we saw in this World Cup, went toe-to-toe with the Netherlands, 2-1, and lost, but it felt like they took a step in that World Cup. So it sucks that a 4-1 lopsided result where the U.S. were never even in it is what happens to this team, this talented team, in a home World Cup. And it's hard to look at this competition and really gauge what it does for this program, because at the same time, while they fell short of that barometer for success, at the very same time, they captured the nation leading up to the round of 16 in a way that they never had before. The U.S. played the most attractive soccer I have ever seen it play on the men's side in the group stage, especially in that game against Paraguay. And they had more eyeballs in this country than they have ever had in a World Cup, at least in my lifetime. There has to be something positive that comes from that, while understanding that the loss to Belgium and the way that it happened is an incredibly tough pill to swallow. And we move forward. We move on to 2030, where a lot of these players will still be in their prime. And I do hope Mauricio Pochettino can stay with this team and can build into the next cycle. So right now it just sucks. And I know there's a lot of people that will just check out of this World Cup. But for that moment, for a few weeks, there were people that never dreamed that they would care an ounce about soccer, that suddenly were living and dying with every kick of the ball in a United States game at a World Cup. There is something to build on from that, as disappointing as the finish was. And now we continue on, and we still have to crown a world champion in the United States. We still get to see major stars in action. We get to see France and Argentina potentially on a collision course to another final. And we'll see if anybody steps in to ruin that. If England can finally get back to the mountaintop. If Norway can literally shock the world. But right now, it just sucks to be a U.S. fan and feel like that moment was something we had been building to for so long, and to fall short so emphatically. But with all that said, it has been so fun to watch the entire nation come together in this way behind this team. And I do think there's something to be said for the way that America rallied behind this team and the way this team inspired America in the lead up to the round of 16. So we sit back, we watch the rest of the World Cup take place in the United States, and the U.S. will build towards 2030 and the World Cup in Portugal, Spain, and Morocco, and see what we can achieve. As Mauricio Pochettino said, why not us? Just not in 2026.
Go! We're back. They can't take us off the board for long. 68th minute. We're cooking. Egypt 2-0.
I hope you guys lose.
You don't mean that.
I do. I hope you guys fall flat on your face and they
Why?
end up tying it up. And,
You don't mean
and
that.
shootouts, and then you can have this thing ripped from you.
It won't be.
Yeah, because you don't really care. You have such a weapon, dude. You have such a weapon to be able to disconnect as soon as something doesn't go your liking. Like if Indiana would have been dominated in the playoff, you would have been able to be like, yeah, they suck. They've always sucked. I know
Why
that.
do you think relationships go the way that they go?
It is honestly a superpower. I do not have that. Once I care infinitely. Like I feel like I am the dudes making friends meme. Like the first time guys meet, they're like, hey, what's up, buddy? And then the next time they meet, they're like, hey, what's up? And then the next time it's like, oh my God, what's up, dude? That's how I feel with anything I care about. As soon as I care, it's like, he wouldn't do that. I've known him for a week. Like I can't get into it. But now my hate, I get scorned.
Burning Devil on the YouTube chat, which is an interesting name, says, this is crazy. Everyone Buck cheers for keeps winning.
Well, I wish you'd cheer for me, damn it. Have you seen the new Louis C.K.?
No.
Special? It's really good.
I stopped paying attention to him when he was masturbating into plants.
Okay, well, he is away from that now.
Oh, good.
Everyone is allowed to get better. Everyone is allowed to fix the mistakes that they have made. He said, I recently went in for an AIDS test.
That's a hell of a way.
He said, I recently went in for an AIDS test. He's like, I haven't had sex with anyone. I just wanted some good news. So anyway, I have AIDS. That's how I feel.
God.
It's like, I just need some good news. I need something positive to happen to me.
Well, Egypt winning would be a positive for you because I'll be in a good mood, and I feel like things are easier when I'm in a good mood. But you're right. I will disassociate so fast.
It's like, as soon as something comes up, Buck's like, no way.
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, you have toe hair? Goodbye.
When you get to a point where you don't have to put up with things in your life, I am somebody who takes advantage of that. Because if I don't have to deal with it, I'm not going to deal with it. And that's typically the way that I go about things. I'm sure that'll come up in therapy at some point down the road. So that is Lucas's World Cup analysis. But he's talking to you, Robert.
I wasn't listening.
Yeah, I know. But when he says there was a period of weeks where people that never cared about the sport in their lives were living and dying on every kick, he's talking about you. Now, that doesn't just go away because the U.S. isn't in it anymore. And I will be curious to see how much interest there is for a compelling World Cup, even if the U.S. isn't in it, especially given that it's on American soil. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna fight that fight with like the local audience because at some point we're gonna talk Titans because training camp is not that far away. And I understand that what you guys care about and what we care about are sometimes different, and that we are doing a show for you. This is your show. We are just facilitating it, right? The show is for you. It's not for us. If it was for us, Lucas and I would do God knows what. I mean, I'm sure it'd still be plenty of Tennessee football. So I'm not going to force feed. I'm not going to try to force feed people World Cup after the national team gets eliminated. But I do think there are a lot of compelling storylines here, especially while this event is being hosted on, domestically, and a final that could feature some pretty unconventional teams. With, understanding that the favorite in France is still sitting there looming large and performing as well as anybody has consistently throughout the course of this tournament. But it's 2-0 Egypt over Argentina right now in Atlanta. A very unexpected result, if the result holds. We are in the hydration break. Put up your fours.
I'm not doing that. I also left the group chat.
Did you?
Yes, I'm not hanging out with a bunch of you. The show,
we're in too many group chats.
The show group chat.
The show group chat?
Yes, I left it.
Well, I started another one because I didn't want Ross in the group chat.
I'll have to remove myself from that one as well. I don't
literally left the conversation.
I'm not going to be hanging around at some other kid's birthday party while you guys are all opening presents and tossing confetti while I'm over there in the corner sipping an empty juice box. That's how broke I was growing up. I used to blow back into the Capri Suns to even imagine that I had a Capri Sun left. That's how this feels.
Comments in the chat from multiple people going back to that earlier comment that said all the teams that I cheer for are winning. Somebody says, hopefully Buck will give the same energy to a great Titans team the same way he jumped onto Indiana and Egypt this year. No. It's, as long as I'm covering them, I'm not ever going to root against them, but I'm also not ever going to root for them. They exist in my life. That is the relationship. If I cover the team, I do not root for or against the team. So you'll have to do it on your own. You'll have to hope that Cam Ward has some kind of special sauce. By the way, I mean, we talked about this yesterday with Gentry, and I wonder how Titans fans are going to react to that conversation, like the grace that was given Mariota, to the point it went too far, right? Marcus got too much leash. Tannehill probably got too much leash at the end, even though Tannehill's the most successful quarterback this franchise has had since McNair. Levis, they tried it, right? They tried to make him into a franchise player, and he was a second-round pick, so it's not quite a throwaway. But Cam, I think, is going to get held to a higher standard than all of them. And I don't know if media is going to have that same energy, because that's certainly the way that I look at it, whether you think that's fair or not. But I definitely hold him to a different standard than I do his predecessors for this franchise, outside of McNair, of course. We'll wrap up the show. Last call for phone calls. If you got them, 615-737-1045. The number coming up next.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
Argentina scored.
Sucks, doesn't it?
Why are you rooting against me here?
Because
all I do is support you. All I do. I gas you up. I compliment you. I treat you
well. You look
well.
less fat today is not a compliment. It's not the compliment you think it is.
It's one of my favorite compliments.
Oh, wow. You don't look as fat today. Oh, thank you.
Nothing makes me happier than seeing like Joe Rexroad, for example, walking up to Rexroad and being like, you look less fat today.
It looks like you've re-amalgamated the fat from your midsection to your back. It looks a lot better on you.
Yeah, you don't think I'm supportive of you? You don't think I'm supportive of the two of you?
This is like when you say something to your mom. I guess I'm just the worst mother ever. That's what you're doing right now. I guess I'm just the worst host. I guess I just don't support the people on my show. That's what you're doing.
It's true. That's how I feel. Ungrateful. I've just got to wait for the two of you to get into your 30s to tell me how right I was about everything.
I'm in my 30s. So is Lucas. You don't pay attention. You don't listen. You don't care. I'm literally a month younger than you.
My birthday's coming up, by the way.
Yeah, so is mine.
Yeah.
It's a month after yours.
Whatever.
yeah, okay. I don't support you. I don't support you.
Okay, but me first.
Mostly
me. I told you I was in Orlando this weekend. I hit the airport. I screamed out, Orlando! And nobody knew what I was doing.
I hope that at the very least they score again, tie it, and you have to sit there and sweat it out.
No.
And you don't just get a scot-free victory.
But you know what I'll do if they lose?
Stop caring.
I'll be fine. You can't hurt me.
I hate you so much. It's so unfair. It's the people that care the least that get the best. They get the most. Everyone that actually cares is down here in the slums with me scooping poop up. Oh, just a poop scooping. That's what we do down here in the slums.
That's the last thing I've cared about, I wonder.
That cat, that dog, Ghost,
I would
Magic.
I would die for Frank.
What's that dog's name?
Ghost.
The ghost with the most.
Ghosty girl.
I've seen him, but I don't believe him.
Are we going to lose B.J. Callahan to the U.S. men's national team? That is a topic of conversation that is going to start at some point because Mauricio Pochettino was asked about his future as a U.S. men's national team coach. Of course, after the loss yesterday, he said he will wait on discussions over his future after his team's elimination. Quote, now is not the time. He responded when asked about talking about his role with the Federation after watching the way that things just kind of fell apart for Belgium. Quote, in the next weeks, we can start to talk if the Federation wants to talk. Right now, it's about resting a little bit to think, have conversations with the Federation to see what the decision is. I'm so happy. We've built a very good relationship. Now is not a moment to talk about my future. Today, we didn't show our real quality as a team. I want to congratulate Belgium. They were good, but we were not at our level. We never connected with the game. We started in a poor way and never got into the flow of the game. So that's
Check the score.
Pochettino. Oh, no.
Yep.
Did he score? I just flipped over the tabs I was reading from the Athletic article and I missed the goal. No. Damn it.
I'm in love with a gal. Her name is Argentina.
Oh, it was him too. Oh, filth.
Play their music.
Filth.
Yes.
I want to hate him, but he's so good.
Argentina's national song kind of sucks.
It's just a little slow.
You know, get some pep in your step.
Like a waltz. Can you play the Egyptian national anthem?
Nah, I would have done it if you guys were winning.
Yeah. You can try. You can try to hurt me with this.
Is y'all's good?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, my God. You don't know.
Why would I know the Egyptian national anthem?
Why would you know anything? Why do I know that female praying mantises eat male praying mantises' heads off and lay their eggs inside their bodies? Why do I know that?
Everybody knows that.
Now, I don't know, dude. Your team, you're still chipper, and your team's about to lose.
Like I said, you can try and hold this against me. Damn. That's so late in the game, though.
This is Egypt's, but I'm gonna change the playback speed so it sounds sad.
Oh, I don't like that. Let me hear it full speed again.
Is this it? My homeland, my homeland, my homeland, my love and my heart for thee, or the goal.
Sounds a little bit like a military march.
Yeah, kind of like a marchy kind of thing.
Yeah, sounds like a country that would have been led by a leader that was supposed to be democratic, and then decided he just didn't want to leave his office. Shout out to Hosni Mubarak.
Well,
rest in peace.
Looks like you and me and Lucas are all sitting square in the. What'd you guys score again already?
I'm still in it.
No, you're not in it. It's over.
I'm still in it.
You guys, and this is why soccer is lame. There's no way. No way. You guys are done. Collapsed. Kaput. Finished. A figment of our imagination.
It sounded like that one guy that does those spit takes at the camera.
Ding. Ding.
So if Pochettino leaves, BJ Callahan's name is on like the soccer hot boards because of his connection to the national team. BJ Callahan, obviously the head coach of Nashville SC, who is sitting at the top of the MLS as we are in the World Cup break right now. I think they come back like the 17th, or that's at least when the international break ends. I don't know when Nashville SC's first game back is. I'm sure Lucas will inform us when he returns. Now, obviously, there is going to be some time. I don't think that would disrupt anything this season for Nashville SC. But that noise is going to get louder, especially the longer however long it takes Pochettino and the U.S. men's national team, the powers that be, to talk about negotiating a deal. But Carrot Top, I think, knows a little bit more about this than the rest of us. It's believed that Pochettino is just going to walk away, right? That's the popular topic of conversation now. Is there reporting to that effect? Like, where is that common knowledge, or is that just internet speculation? Where are you getting that from?
No official reporting yet, but we all think the main reason why he took the job to begin with is because we were hosting, and it was a great opportunity for him.
So he is viewed as somebody who would care about something like that.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I would die for this man. I've thoroughly enjoyed him. He's thank you, Carrot Top. I appreciate it. To the shadows. I would be upset if Pochettino gaslit us into thinking that, he actually cared about us as opposed to using the U.S. for the opportunity that this was. And I mean, if you want to go about it mercenary style, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Plenty of professional athletes, plenty of coaches do that. But if it jeopardizes BJ Callahan with Nashville SC, then obviously that would be unfortunate. Now, how real any of that is, how real any of that could be, it's far too early to worry about it or get pre-worried about it. But just something to keep in the back of your mind as far as local sports go in correlation with the U.S. men's national team World Cup run coming to an end. So I hate Messi. And it's the 88th minute, and the score is 2-2.
So what are you going to do, dude? What are you going to do when
they win?
Oh.
I'm going to text you, and I'm going to say soccer's better than football.
You don't mean that. You don't mean that. None of y'all mean that. You're literally just saying stuff like that. I'm trying not to get about cuss. You're saying stuff like that to piss me off.
If I did not pay my mortgage with the NFL, I would believe that.
It's literally the best sport that's ever existed. And you guys just want to keep downplaying and keep.
No, the World Cup is the best sporting event to ever exist. That you will not convince me of otherwise, no matter how financially invested I am in professional football, not football.
First couple of weeks are cute.
It's because it's as long as the U.S. lasts, the first couple of weeks. Oh, it's just very cute. Look what you did, little guy. That's going to do it for us today. We appreciate your participation. As always, we will be back tomorrow. We will have Greg Cosell and talk a little football with him. See ya. Get your bowling tickets.